Trail talk time. Out on another beauty of a trail. Breathing in that fresh chi. Just loving this amazing weather lately. Feeling springy. And today I wanted to talk about, self-love. And specifically, loving your body. Loving the skin you're in. So many times, including myself, we all have issues with our body and our image, and we're not giving ourselves the love that we really deserve. And the first thing that came to mind is that, we're comparing with other people, right? And this can be a huge issue because, we forget about how amazing we are because we're just looking at other people and wishing that we were them or that we had what they had. And this can, really, really affect us in a lot of ways. And it can be tough sometimes, There's a certain image that's portrayed in the media and in the entertainment business and everywhere that we see in movies and music videos and magazines and shows and everything. And it's showing these specific images of people as if that's, the standard that we're supposed to be living up to. And I think it's not fair for some people to judge themselves based on those images, right? Everybody isn't the same. We shouldn't all look the same. We all have a unique body and we have to embrace it, right? We have to love our own body and realize that it's something special because it's not the same as everybody else's, right? And like I said, it can be tough, but some things that have helped me are really just to pay attention to self-care, right? Are we really taking care of our body? When I started to put more focus on, my health and my energy levels and the way that I feel instead of how I look, all of a sudden, I actually started to love the way that I looked more because I was just feeling, so good in my body. And I always tell people that it's more important the way you feel than the way you look. Because even if you, look a certain way, if you're not feeling good within yourself and you're not healthy, then you're not going to be happy. And health truly is wealth. So instead of paying so much attention to the way that you look, it might be a good idea to start to ask yourself, well, how do I feel? Am I living a healthy lifestyle? And if not, what can I do to start, living in a healthier way so that I am feeling better and more happy just naturally? Because I feel like that's our natural state, is to be happy and to love ourselves, and we can get out of tune with that balance when we're not living a healthy lifestyle. And so the foods that we're eating, our diet, it plays a key role in our mood and the way that we feel about ourselves. When our energy levels are low and we're feeling sluggish, of course we're not going to feel confident because we have no energy to do the things that we want to do. And this is so important, we need that energy. And so I think it's important to, pay attention to our diet. And I love to, write things down. If you need to journal something to pay attention to how certain things made you feel, it can be good to start journaling out your diet, right? And some people really, go on these unhealthy, extreme diets if they're trying to look a certain way, right? So many people, especially women, they deal with that like anorexia and bulimia and these type of things because they're trying to be these super skinny supermodels that they see, right? The fashion industry is just terrible for that. And it gives these people these ideas in their head that they have to be a certain weight or size in order to be beautiful. And it's just not true, right? But I think if we can, pay attention to how we're actually feeling based on these foods that we're eating, and maybe say, hey, I look at my journal and this day I was eating this and it made me feel good. Maybe you can incorporate more of that. Or this day I wasn't feeling so good, maybe I can make these changes, right? And we can start to, balance things out slowly but surely, because that's the way that I think everything has to be done, especially with diet. If you're all of a sudden changing things so quickly, it's gonna shock your body, it's gonna shock your system, and it might not be stable for you. But if we can make small changes every day, then it's like you don't even realize you're making the changes, and slowly but surely we're starting to feel better about ourselves. And that's the way that I've been sort of playing around with my diet, and it's done so much for me. I would slowly transition and take away certain things that I know aren't good for me, all the processed sugar, and that was a huge thing, just sort of getting a sugar detox and just getting more of those natural fruit sugars and stuff in me, and getting my nutrients from whole foods instead of all this processed stuff, right? Processed foods can really weigh us down and just make us feel sluggish, and we're not gonna feel good about ourselves if we're, feeling processed. And I started to take away all of those processed meats and stuff like that, and then eventually I went completely vegan, and I've spoken about how amazing that's helped me to feel, just being free, from all of that fear that's in the animals when they're being slaughtered, and it getting transferred to our body. It can do wonders for us to not have that fear taken on into our bodies from these animals. You just feel so much more fresh and light. And it's really great for your mind state as well, because you realize you're not, helping towards the suffering of animals as much anymore, and you're feeling karma free with whatever you're eating. And it's helped me to feel more, connected with my body. Like I don't have these other energies that are kind of polluting my energy and distorting that, signal. And so I can get in tune with my own vibe now more easily. And some other things that can be really helpful is to really, take a look at yourself, like look at yourself in the mirror and start to, give yourself the love. Like you can say loving affirmations, like I love my body, I love myself. And, start to program yourself to actually start to feel that love. Because we have that power, you might be taking on ideas and thoughts from other people or beliefs that really aren't serving you anymore. And we can reprogram that, right? We can reprogram our mind and start to see ourselves in a different way. And like I said, everything is sort of slowly but surely. It might not be just an instant change. All of a sudden one day you're like, boom, I love myself 100%. But over time, as we start to do these things, we can start to grow and expand that love for ourselves and start to feel better in who we are and feel more comfortable in our skin. And I think it's important to, really take a break from things like social media or all of these things that are giving you those images that you're trying to live up to, right? if we can just take a break from that and spend some more time with ourselves, then we won't be comparing as much, right? It happens so often when we see all these different people on social media every single day, and we look at their pictures or their videos, and it makes people start to want to be like that and compare themselves to all these people and their wonderful posts. But if we can sort of take a detox from social media, then we can actually get that feeling cleansed out of our body, out of our mind, and just spend some time with ourselves, right? Spend some time getting to know yourself and ask yourself, well, what do I love about myself? Or what can I find out about myself to improve my self-image? And if you really don't like the way you look and you want to make some changes, if you want to lose weight or something, or whatever your goals are, then that's fine too. But do it in a healthy way, right? Don't do it out of hatred for yourself. Do it because you want to live a better life and you want to feel better about yourself and you want to live healthier. I think it's always fine to, find things that we can work on ourselves and better ourselves. But we have to love ourselves now, right? We can't wait for some certain time to start to love ourselves. You have to love the journey. You have to love the process, right? It doesn't matter what you look like now. We can find that love within us and give ourselves the love that we deserve. We don't have to wait for any special moment or anybody to give it to us. We don't have to have anybody's approval or anything like that. We have to approve of ourselves right now in this moment. And I was thinking of making this video yesterday. I ended up doing some other things, but later on in the evening I heard this song come on, and the girl was singing about all this same stuff, how she compares herself to other girls, the ones with the itty bitty waist and the big boobs or whatever she said. And but then later on in the song she says, I'm gonna love myself no matter what, even with the big belly, even with the big bum. And it was such a beautiful song. No matter what you look like, you can love yourself and start to feel good about yourself. And I love seeing, people do that, even if they're big or whatever, right? Like that self-love just shines out. That confidence just shines out from within, and it's just so inspiring. Like, the song was super inspiring. And I think it's, amazing to start to tap into your sensuality, your sexuality, and start to feel, really good about yourself. Like, no matter what I look like right now, I'm sexy, and I'm gonna own who I am and how I look right now. No matter what size or shape you are. There's someone out there that's digging you right now. There's someone out there that's loving what you have. And so maybe you just haven't found the right person to really show you that yet. But as I said, it starts with you, right? It starts with us. Once we start to give ourselves that love, then that just reflects out and shines, and then we'll start to attract the right people that will love us for who we are, right? They're not going to judge us based on other people and compare us. They're gonna love us for just the way we are right now. And so, I think it's tough for certain people more than others, of course. But, there's always room for improvement in our lives. And sometimes it's just a quick shift, a subtle shift in our mind state that can start to change everything and cause a snowball effect. I think definitely journaling things out can be super helpful to start to give yourself some self-love and gratitude. Write down the things that you're proud of yourself about. And if you do have some goals, make them make them healthy goals, make them reasonable goals, and don't try and be someone that you're not and try and live up to these crazy expectations, especially these stupid ones that are given by all of these, entertainment outlets and stuff like that. That's not fair to judge ourselves based on that and compare ourselves based on these types of standards. So be fair to yourself, give yourself a chance, and start to recognize yourself, look at yourself through the eyes of people who really love you unconditionally, right? They would never judge you and call you ugly or something like that and compare you with other people. Hi. They would look at you and say, you're beautiful. It doesn't matter, what you look like or what your shape is or your weight is or anything like that. So if we can, remember that and start to say, wow, maybe they're right. They are right. And we can really start to feel good about ourselves now, and we don't have to try and be like somebody else. And the last thing I wanted to say, I was thinking about was, if you're really having issues with your bodily image, just spend some more time being completely naked. I saw this guy on Instagram yesterday. He posted a video. Obviously, everything wasn't showing, but he was just running and jumping into the water completely naked, and it was just he felt so free, you could tell, and all the people in the comments were so inspired by it, and I was too, right? It was perfect timing with this whole video that I want to make. And sometimes we just have to kind of say fuck it, we are who we are right now, and we have to accept that, right? We have to accept ourselves 100%. So just flaunt it, whatever you have, just fucking flaunt it. Maybe you don't have to go run out in nature naked, but if you can spend some time just kind of being with yourself, and maybe have some time in your house to kind of frolic around, or even when you're just having a shower, you can get to know your body and start to touch it and feel it, and like I said, tap into that sensuality, that sexuality, and really start to love yourself. It'll feel so amazing. So yeah, that's all I want to share for today. Hope everyone has an amazing day. And remember, you don't have to be like somebody else to be beautiful. You're beautiful because you're you, and we're all unique, and that's what makes us all beautiful. So I hope you start to give yourself the love that you deserve today, because we all deserve to love ourselves. So yeah, that's all for today. Peace and limitless love.